Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 4 in the series, Czech versus Infi here on Twisted Meadows. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to the 8 times speed in order to get things underway. Czech has spawned as the blue night elf player over here at the 10 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Infi has spawned as the teal human player over here on the top right. Gonna go ahead and slow things down already. You can take a look already that the Archmage is doing a good job attempting to clear out this rock golem creep camp. I do not believe this was used with a speed build, but the Archmage picking up a Tome of Experience and a Sobi Mask, and also purposely waiting to finish getting to level 2 before picking up that Tome of Experience. That is a very, very big deal, as you do get diminishing returns on experience from creeps after you get to level 2. So that is the reason why when you grab that Tome of Experience does have different amounts of experience coming off of that one particular creep camp. Now, Infi does have a number of scout farms placed all across the map, as well as we're going to be looking at militia now making their way down over here. Demon Hunter, however, is going to catch some of these units a little bit out of position, and this may be a bit of a push here in just a moment, as the Demon Hunter is going to be trying to finish off perhaps some of these militia. Archers, meanwhile, going to be doing a little bit of chasing as well, as the Archmage dropping the water elementals in order to deal damage back to the Ogre Magi here. You see quick level 2 on the Demon Hunter with Immolation once more. Immolation being used very, very effectively, actually adding fairly high damage across the board. Meanwhile, you're going to take a look at this Demon Hunter who just turned off Immolation, shadow melded. Archer taking a little bit of damage, and what you're really seeing is just a lot of disruption. The Ogre Magi is still pretty much at half-life. The Ogre Lord's getting in a lot of damage here, as it looks as though the Ogre Magi is going to end up falling eventually, but the Demon Hunter is already bringing back more units. Alright, Archmage now has a level 2 water elemental joining in on the fight. Demon Hunter not getting enough damage early on here. It looks as though this Demon Hunter may be able to finish off wow, no, does not finish the footman there. Needs one more hit to do exactly that. Come on, there you go, finally taking him down. Meanwhile, the Huntresses of Czech will now go ahead and do a bit of retreating, as that did not work out nearly as well as what Czech was hoping for. Infi, now sitting at level 3 with the Archmage, should be able to set up this town hall here relatively fast. There is still one archer who is shadow melded, and now we are just pretty much waiting for the reveal to happen and that archer to eventually get taken down. Still, a handful of militia are left right here. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter is still getting in a little bit of mana burn damage onto this poor Archmage. Archmage does have the Sobi Mask though, so is going to constantly be mana burned throughout this matchup, as the Demon Hunter is really pushing in that damage once more. Archmage not going to have really anywhere to go. Staff of Teleportation in order to get away. Are you going to see another mana burn first? No mana burn right there, as you can see this one Archmage has now teleported all the way back over here. Still no water elementals though, which is the one reason why those Huntresses have been able to continue that pressure. Archmage of Infi purposely running into the back here. That Archer actually acting as a bit of the scouting, as the water elemental does go down, and with that, Czech knows he cannot stick around on this fight. If Czech had mana burned Infi while that was teleporting away, if there was enough time on that cooldown, perhaps enough could have been done. Goblin Shredder now being picked up here. Water Elemental getting in a little bit of splash damage onto that Huntress. If you did not know, that Water Elemental almost does 50 damage per shot there, and that is why that damage adds up so quickly. Already down to 515 hit points, as the surround now coming into play. Archmage now trying to finish off the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter down to 88 hit points, and it looks like it will end up being able to, well, nope. It looks like it will end up being able to run away here. Czech not shadow melding with the Huntresses, knowing that the scout farm is right there next to that one particular Goblin laboratory, and the Archmage, who is constantly normally out of mana in this particular matchup, seems to have mana for days, dropping down those water elementals. If you cannot stop your opponent from setting up his expansion, might as well try to set up your own here, as Czech now walking with the Tree of Life, or will be walking with this Tree of Life back off to the north. Demon Hunter relatively low on mana, down to 130. Will have 2 more mana burns into him, but the Archmage has been constantly well protected, as the Archmage now using a Clarity Potion and a heal and a Scroll of Regeneration in order to get back into the swing of things. It looks as though Czech is going to be in a great spot throughout this matchup, having an economic advantage, and he has also scouted out the Footman and also scouted out the Tree of Life here with a Footman, so the Archmage may try and come over, bring in more damage, but this is going to turn into a really dangerous fight. You can take a look at this back over here. One Footman just rushing by a whole bunch of Huntresses and other units. This is not going to be good for Infi's lone Footman here, as the remaining Footmen are now going to be pressuring inside this base. That is going to be the worst news possible. Czech has really no base defense. 1 Goblin Shredder, and that is it, as Water Elementals are now being brought over. Infi hitting with a very strong 2-prong attack. Goblin Sapper is now being thrown into the mix as well, as there it goes, taking down 1 Moonwell in a moment. But the cost of a Moonwell versus the cost of a Goblin Sapper, not quite sure who really comes out ahead there. Perhaps a little bit of an even trade, as the Wisp are now trying to perhaps do a little bit of hiding. Water Elemental now joining in on that damage. We're going to see a detonation. No, we are not, as 1 Water Elemental down to 400 hit points, 200 hit points, dissipates with the timed life. All right, detonations coming through. Goblin Shredder back over here. Goblin Zeppelin, excuse me, now trying to fly back overhead. Will be able to drop a couple of Water Elementals in a little bit of time. Currently out of mana, as a Moonwell taking a lot of damage there, as the Tree of Life now starts to slowly slip off to the north. Dryads have to be extremely careful. They do not want to waste all of their abolished magic mana on the Ogre Magi's Bloodlust. They will need that abolished magic for Water Elementals when the time comes. But you can also take a look. Huntress is not really the way to go in this fight. The Huntresses take far too much damage from the Water Elementals, and going for that tier 2 is going to be a problem. All right, Demon Hunter ends up falling back home. You can take a look back over here. Archmage does have that Scroll of Regeneration and Clarity Potion. Footmen are still fighting back very well, and also have tech to defend, making the Dryads nearly just useless in this fight. Goblin Zeppelin still overhead. You can see that Archmage pretty much back up to half mana, will be able to drop 1 Water Elemental and continue this fight here in just a moment. There's a detonation there, as the Panda with Dryads able to push that back once again. All right, double Dryads here. Let's take a look. Where is that Goblin Zeppelin? Goblin Zeppelin now overhead. Are we going to perhaps drop down some units? Yes, there you go. Footmen now trying to engage. The Goblin Zeppelin is a mechanical unit, hence it does not take poison damage, as the Dryad should really be focusing onto that Archmage. Not quite sure why you're not going after the Archmage at all. All right, Archmage taking a bit more damage. Footmen, however, finally joining in at the hack and slash on those Dryads. You do have to be careful, but the Panda is right there. No Breath of Fire. What is going on? There's the Drunken Haze. There's the Breath of Fire. And you can see that little bit of damage over time, as those Footmen are now looking to back off again. All right, Entangled Goldmine, and now once more being rebuilt, trying to go after those Footmen. Footmen taking a little bit of damage. There's another Breath of Fire. This time, no Drunken Haze involved, as damage over time now being added in again. All right, these poor Footmen trying to engage right here. Dryad going to be able to dance around all of these Footmen. What are they really hoping to do, as 3 Footmen falling from Infi? And I think that's the most units I've seen fall on Infi's side in quite some time. Guard towers now being added here. Mountain King going to be popping out here in just a moment. Most likely will be able to finish off 1 Huntress and very easily, maybe be able to take down a second one as well, as the Goblin Zeppelin is going to be dropping once more. All right, I don't see any units back down over here. As you can see, the Archmage dropping off more units. Mountain King, there is the Stormbolt, and there goes a Huntress there. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look at this fight. Nothing really to poke apart this Goblin Zeppelin. Goblin Zeppelin still up in the air, causing pressure on both the entangled gold mine here and the unentangled gold mine down across over there. All right, where is Archmage? I guess I thought I saw the Archmage. Archmage, yeah, did teleport back. So he was unloaded and then teleported away. Meanwhile, the Goblin Zeppelin very, very low on hit points. And what is this? Infi comes over and he has set up a third base. 3-base Infi here on Twisted Meadows, and this is looking more like a StarCraft 2 game with 3 bases rather than a WarCraft 3 game where you are taxed on heavy gold. We're taking a look at 2,000 gold right now and still sitting on no upkeep. We are now going to be looking at the blacksmith being added, and at this point Infi knows that he can just play the economic game. He does not have to engage straight up. He can purposely lose footmen to try and free up supply so that he can build the right units that he really wants. Archmage is still sitting at level 4. Mountain King going to be coming across over here. Panda right here. There's a Breath of Fire getting in some big damage. Demon Hunter now sitting at level 3. The damage is going to be high. Panda still trying to engage. Wanda mana stealing. Could try and take mana away. Does in fact do so. And finishing up some units here. Check, perhaps feeling like things are finally going his way. Little does he know, economically, he is still very far behind. You now see Infi sitting on, what, 1,200 gold, and that is after he ended up losing a couple of units. So he is training up knights right now. You can see the workshop down over here now going to get pressured, but without any sort of glaive throwers, there is really no chance that this is gonna really get that bad. All right, immolation quickly being used here. Panda now purposely backing away as the attack and the damage now starting to break through here. Is it gonna be able to finish off this one guard tower? Yes, one guard tower now down. More and more guard towers could get taken down as well. Guard tower number 2 is going to end up falling. Meanwhile, back now across over here, Mountain King, Archmage, Water Elementals, the human tri-hero, so difficult to take down. 54 over 60 or 70 supplies currently sitting on low upkeep compared to 45 over 66. Infi willing to lose this expansion right now as the Bears are going to finish it off. Demon Hunter, however, has no way of easily getting back to his Tree of Eternity and his main base. All right, 2 bases to 2 once more. And you can see Masonry upgrade level 3. 8 armor, very high armor indeed. Bears now back across over here as Infi looking to lose another town hall across over here. Pandarian Brewmaster now perhaps gonna make a little bit of a play. It looks like the Dryads know about this expansion, and that's why they are purposely avoiding it. Meanwhile, Archmage quickly spotted across. Down over here, is the Demon Hunter going to be able to finish off that Water Elemental? Yes, it will. Demon Hunter still sitting at level 3. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal as Check may end up losing a Huntress as well. Huntress now trying to run away once more. No upgrades. As you can take a look, units are constantly trying to get away, and it looks as though the Mountain King with the Boots of Speed able to get in that extra bit of damage to finish off that Huntress there. Demon Hunter finally picking up a very necessary Scroll of Town Portal. Economically speaking, Infi quickly building up or rebuilding this expansion down over here, getting in some guard towers as well. Archmage looking to get to level 5 here in just a moment. Infi sitting at 6 armor. Devotion Aura on the pallet. On the Mountain King. Yeah, Devotion Aura, Lion Horn of Stormwind, giving an additional 1 point of armor. Infi has to be careful. May end up losing a Light Knight. Oh, very nicely done there. Holy Light first, followed by the Staff of Sanctuary to teleport him back home. Archmage still has no mana problems whatsoever. As Infi says, you know what? What's better than 3 bases? 4, especially if you just lost one once more. All right, Panda now seen at level 4. Demon Hunter still seen at level 3. Panda at level 4 with Ring of Regeneration may want to eventually... Nope, he's not going to be selling that at all. Dryad still very low on hit points as once more towers are being added. With so many guard towers in play, it is going to be nearly impossible to try and stop all of that. Dryad's going to go ahead and engage right here. Level 5 now onto the Archmage. Level 3 on the Demon Hunter. Level 4 now as the Panda Gonna go ahead and just try and beat up that one Archmage there. Archmage, however, getting healed. Paladin with Divine Shield and Holy Light, gonna be very difficult to take down as well. As you can take a look, Demon Hunter still taking a lot of damage here. Dryad purposely focusing down some more units. There's a big breath of fire across multiple units. Water Elemental now quickly coming in. Dryad should be turning around to abolish magic that Water Elemental, but even after 2 abolish magics, because of the level 3 water elementals, it is still not enough to truly take it down. No scroll of healing any longer as a Dryad gets taken out. All right, mana burn onto the Paladin. Paladin taking some serious damage, finally getting teleported back. Demon Hunter, Panda trying to continue this fight once more. Demon Hunter taking a lot of damage right here. Are we perhaps going to see a bash? Mana burn onto the Mountain King. Mountain King does have, what is that, Sobi mask on him in order to try and stay alive, in order to try and keep more mana on him, as the Demon Hunter is slightly faster. All right, Staff of Teleportation. He will be able to teleport away. Demon Hunter has no way of regenerating hit points short of rejuvenation, and that looks like exactly what the Bears will be doing, as the Knights now getting in even more armor as well. Griffins now being added into the mix. No weapons upgrades as of yet, as we are finally in low upkeep for Infi. 3 bases to 2, as we now see the ever accursed siege engines joining in on the fight. Level 7 armor on those Ancients of Wind. Bear now joining in on the fight as well. Negative or 0 armor reduction. So what you see is what you get in terms of damage. Meanwhile, back across over here, Mountain King still looking to gain a little bit more experience. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3 and Potion of Invulnerability. That needs to be picked up rather quickly as the Demon Hunter runs straight into a Stormbolt. All right, fights now going down into play. It looks as though the Druid of the Claw is going to try and run away, but running away from a Griffin, never an easy task, as that Griffin can easily out-damage and out-maneuver that poor Bear. Demon Hunter now continuing that chase right now. Knights doing a good job chasing after the units, as you can take a look at that right there. The Dryad somehow perhaps saving that one Bear. That Bear very low on hit points, down to 7 hit points, but still be able to make it off back to the north, perhaps with a rejuvenation, as it looks as though Infi is going to be able to finish things up here. He just needs to keep his foot on the gas. He has the larger army. He has the better economy. He has the better heroes, the perfect trifecta that you need in WarCraft 3. All right, Bears absolutely getting destroyed by Griffins. Just the infinite economy of Infi, being able to constantly change the types of units he is cranking out, whether it be Griffins, Knights, or Siege Engines, and that is pretty much going to be it. Archmage gonna stay alive, as Czech gives the GG. Czech winning, or excuse me, Infi winning this series 3-1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.